Well, today is September the 24th, and this is part 32 of our study of the ministry of Jesus. Well, today we're going into Luke chapter 7. Now remember, Jesus was just at Capernaum and healed the centurion's servant. Today we're going to travel down to a city called NAIN. It is about 30 miles from Capernaum. And of course, Jesus is going into all the towns and cities in Galilee to preach. So now he's going to NAIN. And as he comes into the city, he sees a funeral procession. Here's a young man being carried. We find out he was the only son of his mother, who was a widow. So she was in extremely bad shape because without a son or a husband, there was no one to support her, and she was going to be destitute and very poor. Now then, burial in those days, when someone died, they were washed according to a certain way, and then they were wrapped with spices and ointments that made them smell better. They were buried the same day that they died. So this is all fresh today. And the man has been prepared. Don't know how old he was. He's been prepared, and now the funeral procession is going to the place of burial. Now in these days, they buried people in two ways. First of all, they buried them in a tomb called a sepulcher. And second one, they dug a grave, much like we do today, and buried them. There was no coffin on either one of them. They have excavated NAIN and found that on the way up to NAIN that there were many sepulchers along the way. So possibly today, these people are going out to one of the sepulchers outside of NAIN and to bury this man. Now they would take and place him in this tomb. He was not embalmed, and he would just lay there and, of course, decompose. And then after a year or so, they would come in and take his bones and put them in a box and put them in the back of the tomb so that the tomb would be ready to receive someone else from the family. Now, the funeral procession, there would be a lot of mourning. It's been said that grief is inward, mourning is outward. And often they had professional mourners, women, who would go before the funeral procession and would mourn and scream and howl and do all sorts of mourning for the family. And of course, all the people that came along would be doing the same thing. And so it was a noisy procession as they come now to bury this man. So that's what Jesus finds when he's coming into this city. And so he comes up and he sees what's going on. He has compassion on this woman because she's now without a male in her family to help her. And he comes up and touches the bier, the thing that he was carried on. He did not touch the body because under the law of Moses, a person that touched a dead body was ceremonially unclean for 7 days. So he did not touch the body. He just simply touched the thing that he was carried on. And when he touched it, then the people that were carrying it stopped. Now when Jesus came, it says that a lot of people came with him, his disciples and a lot of others. So there was a great crowd with Jesus. And then it also says there was a great crowd following this funeral procession. So people are gathered around and wondering why he stopped this man. So Jesus spoke to the man and just simply told him to get up, to sit up. And the man did. And he came back to life again. This is the first time Jesus now has raised someone from the dead. He was dead. But now he was alive again, and Jesus brought him back to life, and all the people saw it. And of course, there was much amazement and astonishment, and Jesus' fame spread even further than it had been before. Never been anything like this before, and here's someone raising the dead at NAIN. And of course, he gave the man back to his mother, and she was happy. But the problem is, this man died again. He did not live on forever. But when we trust Jesus as our Savior, we may die physically, but we live on forever with the Lord. Well, that's Jesus raising the dead man at the city of NAIN. And we will continue on with our study in the morning. Hope you have a great day today. God bless you.